You consider yourself a free thinker. You make your own choices, hold your own opinions, and live life on your own terms. But what if that feeling of control is just an illusion? What if, every single day, invisible strings are being pulled to guide your thoughts, your beliefs, and your desires? These strings aren't pulled by some shadowy cabal in a secret room. They are pulled by politicians who want your vote, by corporations who want your money, and sometimes even by people in your own life. They are using a playbook of psychological techniques perfected over decades to influence you without you ever realizing you've been influenced. Today, we're not just going to show you the strings, we're going to give you the scissors to cut them. Because once you see the hidden psychology of control, you can never be controlled by it again. To understand how deep this goes, let's start with the world of politics. Modern political campaigns are no longer about debating policies. They are about mastering psychological warfare. The goal isn't to convince your rational mind, it's to trigger your emotional core. One of the most powerful tools they use is called emotional transfer. Think about a political ad you've seen. It probably didn't just list a candidate's policies. Instead, it showed you images of a happy family, a waving flag, or a beautiful sunlit field. Or conversely, it showed you dark, grainy images of crime, poverty, and despair when talking about an opponent. This isn't just for decoration. They are scientifically engineering an emotional association. Your brain subconsciously links the positive feelings of patriotism and family with their candidate, and the negative feelings of fear and decay with the other. By the time you get to the voting booth, you're not just choosing a person. You're choosing the feeling they've carefully attached to their name. But they go deeper. Modern campaigns use sophisticated data analysis to understand your personality. Are you open-minded, anxious, agreeable? Then they craft messages specifically for you. If you're someone who values tradition and order, they'll show you ads about restoring greatness and law and order. If you're someone who values compassion and fairness, you'll see ads about social justice and protecting the vulnerable. It's the same candidate, but the message is a psychological mirror, reflecting your own values back at you. You feel understood, not manipulated. And that is the most effective form of control there is. Now let's look at how corporations use these same principles. When you think of Coca-Cola, what comes to mind? It's probably not just a brown sugary drink. It's happiness, friendship, sharing, Christmas. Coca-Cola has spent over a century and billions of dollars not selling a product, but selling an emotion. Through their branding, they have performed a kind of psychological alchemy, turning their product into a symbol for human connection. This is called brand association. They create this through mere exposure effect, a psychological principle that says we tend to develop a preference for things simply because we are familiar with them. You've seen the Coca-Cola logo thousands of times in your life. On TV, on billboards, at the movies. This constant exposure creates a subconscious feeling of trust and comfort. So, when you're standing in front of a dozen soda options, your brain naturally gravitates toward the one it knows and trusts, often without you even consciously thinking about it. Nike takes a different but equally powerful approach. Their slogan isn't, "Our shoes are great," it's, "Just do it." This isn't a product feature, it's a command that speaks to your deepest aspirations. When they partner with legendary athletes like Michael Jordan or Serena Williams, they are not just getting an endorsement, they are using the authority bias. Our brains are wired to trust and follow figures we perceive as successful or authoritative. Nike has brilliantly linked their brand to the very idea of greatness. When you buy a pair of their shoes, you're not just buying footwear. On a subconscious level, you are buying a piece of that "just do it" identity. You're buying the feeling of being an athlete. They're not selling you a product, they are selling you a better version of yourself. But perhaps the most powerful and dangerous forms of control happen not on a mass scale, but in your one-on-one interactions. These are the subtle language patterns and behaviors people use to manipulate your emotions and decisions. One of the most common is called gaslighting. Gaslighting is the act of systematically undermining someone's perception of reality to the point where they begin to doubt their own sanity. It's a deeply insidious form of psychological control. Imagine you confront a partner or a friend about something they said that hurt you. A gaslighter won't apologize or discuss the issue. Instead, they'll say things like, "I never said that," "You're remembering it wrong," or "You're being way too sensitive, it was just a joke." At first, you might push back. But if this happens over and over again, you start to question yourself. Did I remember it wrong? Am I actually overreacting? The manipulator is replacing your reality with their own, making you easier to control. Another powerful technique is the strategic use of guilt and obligation. This often comes from a place that seems loving or generous. Think of a parent who says, "After everything I've sacrificed for you, you won't do this one little thing for me?" Or a partner who says, "If you really loved me, you would..." This tactic isn't about a reasonable request. It's about framing the situation in a way that your refusal is not just a no, but a moral failing. It leverages your natural desire to be a good son, a good daughter, or a good partner against you. You comply not because you want to, but to avoid the crushing feeling of guilt. Finally, there's a tactic manipulators use in arguments called moving the goalposts. You'll see this in debates and personal conflicts all the time. Imagine you're arguing a point and you provide clear evidence to support your position. Instead of addressing your evidence, the manipulator will suddenly change the criteria for what's acceptable. They'll say, "Well, that's just one study, it doesn't prove anything," or "Okay, fine, but that doesn't address this other issue." They are constantly shifting the rules of the game so that you can never win. The goal isn't to find the truth, it's to exhaust you into submission. So, how do you reclaim your mind? The first step is simple but profound. Awareness. You have to learn to watch your own emotional responses. When you're listening to a politician, reading an ad, or in a conversation, ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Am I feeling fear? Hope? Guilt? Anger? Strong emotions are often a sign that your psychological triggers are being pulled. The second step is to create space. Our brains are designed to make quick, intuitive decisions. Manipulators exploit this. They want you to react instantly. The most powerful thing you can do is pause. Before you share that outrageous political post, before you click buy now, before you respond to that guilt-tripping text, just take a breath. Give your rational mind a chance to catch up with your emotional brain. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this what I really want? What is the intention behind this message? This week, I want you to become a detective of your own mind. Pick one area, your social media feed, the ads you see, or a particular relationship, and just observe. Don't try to change anything. Just notice the attempts at influence. Notice the emotional triggers. Notice the language being used. Then, come back to this video and leave a comment sharing the most surprising thing you discovered. If this exploration of control opened your eyes, please hit the like button and subscribe. Because next week, we're going to dive even deeper into the art of persuasion. But this time, we're going to focus on how you can use these psychological principles ethically to become a more effective and charismatic communicator. It's a masterclass you won't want to miss. Remember, the invisible strings only work when you don't know they're there. Today, you learn to see them.